All right, then moving on to a brand new week. We're going to start off on the Nasdaq, and there's not really much to say on the daily time frame. We are just at an all-time high, and we are very bullish. So, of course, I'm just going to be looking for longs on the 4-hour time frame. We are starting to build up some 4-hour liquidity. For example, here and another one down here, for example. But at the moment, price doesn't want to be coming back and grabbing these types of liquidity at the moment, and we're just expanding quite aggressively. So look, that's fine for me as an intraday trader. Looking on the 1 hour time frame in terms of what am I going to be going for this session, well, the very obvious draw is this big new week opening gap which we have produced. Price has had a bullish candle on the open, respecting the 1 hour fair value gaps. And at the moment, the only trade I'm looking for is a run on these two swing points down here, a swing failure pattern, a strong rejection of these two lows, and then looking for a lower time frame fair value gap, or preferably an inverse fair value gap, and then looking for longs up towards the previous day high or just the new week opening gap. One thing that's important to note is that I don't actually expect a trade to happen here, because over the last week, what we've not been grabbing these 1 hour swing points at all, or at least within the New York session, which is my time frame. Sorry, my time zone. A lot of the time we've just been grabbing 5 minute, 1 minute liquidity lows in the build up to New York or during New York Open, and then expanding straight away after. So I don't necessarily expect us to grab these two lows, these relatively equal lows down here. And another important thing to note is that we have had an SMT with S&P 500 down here, where we've taken the Asia low, the Asia kill zone low on Nasdaq, but we haven't on ES. And that's another reason why I wouldn't expect necessarily us to grab these two lows. But that is my trade idea for today. Grab these two lows and then look for longs after that if we reject them. But my expectations are relatively low. We're going to look now at gold. I have been in a gold long position this morning, and it looks like we are about to hit. It's only a 1.4R trade, so it's not huge at all. But hopefully, it looks like we're going to be able to get a take profit here. But we have to wait and see. But in terms of gold, what my reasoning was for the trade is on the 4-hour time frame, we grabbed this 4-hour low, which I highlighted last week. So 4-hour high, which I highlighted last week. We've pulled back on the 4-hour time frame overnight or over the weekend, and we've grabbed this 4-hour low, which has lined up perfectly with a 0.5 fib level, as the fractal low is this low down here from the 10th of April, and our new fractal highs from last Friday. And we've come right back down to the 0.5 fib level, grabbed this 4-hour low, and had a strong swing failure pattern. So I scaled into the 1-hour time frame. We printed a 1-hour fair value gap, filled it, and so I entered during London session with my stop below this 6 a.m. low, targeting the Asia range high. You could possibly, and I was thinking about looking for longer, but I've only got one contract on the trade because that's all my account can have, and therefore my target is just going to be the Asian range high. But in general, I'm still going to be looking for upside on gold throughout this week. A quick look on the euro as well. Yesterday Friday, we had a bearish swing failure. We grabbed this daily high, and so whilst we've had this swing failure, you might think we could start looking for shorts here. If you look on the 1-hour time frame, we have got no liquidity in this leg down. That price could push up, grab, and then you could look for shorts after. We've got none of that, which means if I were to really have a strong bearish bias, I would need price to break structure again down here, and then this little push up could become a new liquidity high for a price to come up and grab, and then shorts can play out beyond there. But until that happens, I kind of expect just some short-term upside, and so I'd only be looking at any potential short-term longs back up towards this high. However, I don't expect it. I've marked out this London low here. That might be the only level today I'm that interested in. And that I wouldn't be looking at anything else other than that. But in general, at the moment, the euro is not something I particularly want to trade. So my main asset being the Nasdaq, I am looking at that liquidity raid at the two lows down here. And if we don't get that, then I will not be having a trade today.